A proposed bill in the U.S. Will require the administration that we examine whether South Africa is undermining U.S. security and foreign policy interests. We understand Republican John James and Democrat Jared Moscowit say South Africa is siding with what they call malign actors on the international stage. The bill is threatening South Africa's prospects of benefiting, for example, from the African Growth and Opportunity Act. There are also moves afoot to review bilateral relations between Washington and Pretoria. All of this coming in the wake of the Pretoria-led genocide case against Israel at the International Court of Justice for its acts of war crimes in Gaza against the Palestinians. Now, former ambassador and chief of state protocol, Dr. Kingsley Makhubela, who is now a director of RiskRecon, joins us to discuss all of this. Dr. Makhubela, good afternoon. Welcome to today, and thank you very much for your time this hour. Yeah, it looks like Pretoria might be made, if I use these words advisedly, to pay for what it did in terms of taking Israel to the ICJ in the genocide case against what South Africa says are acts of genocide being committed against the people of Palestine in Gaza. I mean, is that the sense you're also getting from Washington?
Braden, good afternoon, and thank you very much for having me once again on your program. Indeed, you will recall that just before the verdict at the ICJ, there was a group of lawmakers who really came very hard on South Africa, both Republican and Democrats, dismissing South Africa's argument even before it was ventilated. And they really came up with a very strange approach in terms of how the bilateral relations have been managed between the two countries. They were coming up with arguments that some level of action ought to be taken against South Africa.